for the writing module, it's very important that you go ahead and focus on the structure. You're marked on grammar, so for grammar, keep your basics correct. Refrain from any distractions around you because that will definitely make you lose scores. Hi everyone, I'm Vivian and welcome to my YouTube channel, IELTS and PT with Viv. I'm Vivian Baptist and I have been a IELTS, PT, OET and CELPIP trainer since 2018 and have successfully helped more than 500 students achieve their desired scores in these competitive examinations. Now that CELPIP is become such an important examination for Canadian immigration and also for your Australia PR for superior English, I'm going to talk about a few do's and don'ts for your CELPIP examination to help you achieve the score that you desire. Okay, talking about the do's, we'll discuss about first the do's for all the 4 modules: writing, listening, reading and speaking, and then I'll jump into the don'ts. All right, so let's get started. Now for the writing module, it's very important that you go ahead and focus on the structure. Make sure that your content is good, your messaging is clear, and your ideas are aligned in a proper manner. So for any writing examination, for CELPIP particularly, you're marked on your content, you're marked on the structure that you're writing, you're marked on grammar. So for grammar, keep your basics correct. Basically, your nouns, prepositions, conjunctions. If you can do complex sentences, it is great. Now, because CELPIP writing will have word limit, which is 200, you have to ensure that you focus on your vocabulary. Vocabulary is key. If you can hit it out of the park with your vocabulary, you will definitely get a 10, 11 in certain cases as well. Okay, so ensure that your structure is aligned, you're using proper vocabulary, your writing is very clear for your examiner to understand what you're saying. Moving on to your reading. Now, please understand that in CELPIP, reading is fairly simple. It's not a difficult reading like IELTS in certain cases. But then again, you have to ensure that you're understanding what they are saying very clearly. If you don't comprehend, it will be difficult for you to go ahead and find the answer. So for example, for part 3, if you are looking at the paragraph and then matching that paragraph with the headings that are given, it's important that you first read the paragraph. The skimming and scanning technique that we talk about, read it quickly, understand what the context is, and then go ahead and match it with the heading. It's very straightforward. Understanding is key for reading. As long as you understand the text, it's very easy to go ahead and find the answers. Talking about speaking. Now, I personally feel that CELPIP speaking is a little more on the elaborate side because there's a lot of content that we talk about. Okay, now even though you're going to be speaking in front of the computer, it's always important that you maintain and you're looking at the computer, keep an eye contact there, even though there's not a person who is going ahead and assessing you, but then eventually there will be an examiner who's going to listen to you. So instead of looking here and there where you might get distracted, focus on your screen, maintain that eye contact, what we always say. Clear expressions, clarity of speech is very important. Speak in a proper tone. Make sure you don't speak too fast. As a person, I have the tendency of speaking really fast. So for me also, slowing down becomes a process. So remember, slow down, speak normally, answer all of your 8 parts properly, and you'll be good to go. All right, and maintain confidence. Then we have listening. Now, personally, I feel that it's a little bit of a switch from what an IELTS listening would be or a PT listening would be, where you're listening to the content and answering at the same time. But in CELPIP, somehow, you would notice that you have to listen to the audio, type your points, and then come back and listen to the questions and then mark, because you get to see the questions after the audio is played. So that is where I would always ask you that listen to some podcast, practice this information where you have heard something and then you try and come back and relate to the points that you spoke about. That retention is a little important in listening for CELPIP to make sure that you ace your CELPIP examination for listening, which is why we say active listening, because when you're actively listening, you're making points of whatever they're saying in your head. So try to do this technique where you listen to some podcast or some information and then come back and write what you've understood. It'll make it easier for you to score marks in the CELPIP examination. Talking about common pitfalls, I've realized that grammatical errors, etc., does become a challenge for most people. But please understand, nobody's asking you to do like a really compound sentence where you're talking about continuous tenses, etc. No, keep it simple. The simpler it is, the easier it is to complete that sentence. Of course, you should try and make complex sentences, but complex does not mean complicated. Complex basically means that you're going ahead and adding some additional information to an already complete sentence. So for example, you mix two opposite points together, or you add a dependent clause with an independent clause to get that marks for your complex examination, complex sentences as well. Now, I just want to go ahead and point out that if you definitely find this video helpful until now and you've reached here, do go ahead and like this video, subscribe to my channel because we have a lot of exciting content for competitive English examinations coming up soon, and your subscription to my channel will definitely help us grow, and your likes and your views definitely contribute to my growth and contribute to me helping out more students and reaching out to more people. All right, so I'll talk about a few don'ts as well now. Talking about reading, one of the most important aspects that I feel that for most people where they get reading wrong is the fact that they don't pay attention. You're so focused on managing your time that you're making sure that, oh my God, my timer is going to get over. How do I get this? Now, I'm going to give you a reference from a very popular Hindi movie. This movie is called 3 Idiots by Amir Khan, and that movie said that you should first run after excellence and everything else will follow. And that's exactly what I want you to follow when you're doing any examination. Remember, timing will happen. First, remember, stay focused, get through the examination, learn to perfect the techniques, and then the timing will automatically fall in place. It's happened to most of my students, but yes, the two techniques is staying focused and managing your time efficiently during your test to ensure that you get there. But then again, the time management will only come once you become excellent. Talking about speaking, rambling, definitely. You see, I'm rambling right now. It's important to avoid that. Rambling is speaking too fast, not making sense, neglecting the prompt clearly. All of these things will definitely make you lose scores. So make it a point that whatever they're asking you, you're talking about that. Clear, simple English, as long as you're speaking in this proper tone, making sure that every word of yours is enunciated correctly, speaking should also be in the bag for you. Talking about listening, remember, avoid careless mistakes. Make it a point that you listen. Active listening is important. Try to note down whatever they are saying. Refrain from any distractions around you because that will definitely make you lose scores. All right? Pay attention to what they are saying. Make your notes. And then when the question comes up on the screen, that's when you correlate to the audio that was played. That's very important for you to ensure that you get the highest possible marks in speaking. Talking about a few strategies, remember, for writing, it's important that you focus on structure, clarity, and, go ahead and write in that proper order. For reading, like we've always mentioned, you don't have to maybe read the entire paragraph or the entire text properly or with attention, because maybe someone like me could probably do it because English is easy for me to go ahead and read through, but someone who is probably struggling with English may not be able to get this done. However, in those cases, my recommendation would always be that at least read through and understand and highlight the important points. So you're skimming for the information. Definitely go ahead and use a lot of different vocabulary. Remember, proper pronunciation and speaking out correctly is very important. One bonus tip that I'll always tell you is that practice with your peers, with your colleagues, with your family. Speak with them in English. Try and inculcate as much as English as you can in your life to make sure that you are able to ace your speaking part in CELPIP as well. And for listening, like I said, remember, retaining is very important. If you learn to retain information, you will easily be able to ace your listening CELPIP module as well. Okay. All right. One of the things very important is because this is a Canadian examination, you should go ahead and use phrases or the way Canadians speak. And I'm assuming that you're giving this examination because you're in Canada. So try and inculcate their way of speaking as well. Familiarize yourself with the spelling variations that Canadians use. Okay, so for example, things like color versus color, like where we use a U, where we don't use a U, you should know all of these things. And remember, when you're speaking, and you're going ahead and presenting some information, like for example, in speaking, when you're responding to a situation, try to respond to how Canadians would. It actually goes a little, it goes a step ahead in you getting that additional marks in your CELPIP examination. All right, so make sure that you prepare for your CELPIP test with confidence. For CELPIP, materials are extremely important. All right, the right materials will help you get that CLB 11, CLB 10 that you need. So that's the reason why we have a practice portal from where you can go ahead and make it a point that you practice with the best materials possible. Contact us if in case you just want the training materials, or if you want training, we'll be happy to assist. In terms of timeline, remember, once you complete the registration process online, once you booked your test, go ahead and then create a study plan for yourself. Reach out to us and we can help you with that. Make sure you're practicing from the right place, because practice is what will make you perfect here. Okay? And make sure that you arrive on time for your examination. Be prepped, be ready, and this will actually help you, be at ease in the examination and not make too many silly mistakes that most of us do. Right? All right, so definitely, if you have any questions, feel free to get in touch with us. We also offer CELPIP training, and we have trained a lot of students in getting that CLB 10, CLB 11 as well. And if you're looking to ace your CELPIP examination with such scores, DM us for information. We'll be more than happy to assist. My number is on the screen. I've also added my social media links, my practice portal, my website on the description below. Feel free to go through it. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer. This is me signing off. Ciao. Thank you so much.